Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Melanie's cooking. You can slow this down now once it's cooking.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't
That
know that.
changes the temperature so it doesn't cook as hot. Melanie's cooking outside with natural energy. You like it? We're going to have to set you up a little kitchen here then. That's the SilverFire Hunter survival stove. And we're using free energy. Michelle is watching. How you doing? Huh? Say hi to everybody out there in YouTube land. I think she knows the camera. Are you being shy today? Huh? Are you a little bit shy today? Huh? I'm working over here trying to figure out where the car's leaking. And the transmission fluid was nearly fully empty. A friend helped me go get a couple quarts of transmission fluid, because obviously I can't drive this around. Or I couldn't because it was totally empty. But now it's not wanting to leak. I guess I'm going to have to drive it a longer period to heat up the fluid in order to get it to start spraying out. Honestly, I never had a problem with the necessity of finding a leak in the transmission line, so I'm having trouble figuring this out. What's wrong? Oh, the flies. Wow. So anyway, I've never had to troubleshoot transmission leak. Usually it's very obvious, and I'm not seeing it. So I know it's wet up in here. You can see fluid up in here. You can see fluid. Let me zoom in. Right up under that line. The line itself isn't wet, so that connection isn't wet. But right down inside, if I can get an angle. Well, anyway, I can't get the camera to focus on it, but down inside there it's wet. There, you can see moisture on that. And down and all down in there. So somewhere down in this area it's leaking, I think. But it's also wet all up in the fan down in here too. All up in this area in the front of the fan is wet. So I'm wondering if maybe fluid is blowing from this line or the bottom line. There's two lines going through here. I'm wondering if fluid is blowing forward and shooting up in this direction in order to get the fan wet, as well as up in here. So it might be just shooting in, so it's really hard to tell, to be sure. So I'm just going to have to get it running and see if I can figure out where it's coming from without driving it at the time. I might have to just get it hot. It's going to be awkward to troubleshoot, I think. We cleared a few more tree branches out, and we've got a lot more. Oh no, there's another branch in the early morning sun. Yeah, I guess it's going to take time. There's that one branch sticking out. Just a little branch. Yeah, it's just that one on the end. But we're not getting any real power coming in right now anyway. The sun is direct sideways from the solar panels yet. But during the full daylight, we got some serious power. I'm half tempted. I don't know if it's beneficial to have some panels angled this way and some panels angled this way to get the morning, midday, and afternoon sunlight, because our panels are stationary like this. Something I've been considering. We got the porch almost all cleaned off. Some boxes Melanie brought out of the trailer, and she's got an exercise bike we picked up for, I think we paid $3 for that last year. Anyway, she's using that. And these couple boxes and pieces of wood we're getting out. The only thing going to be up here is probably the folding chairs and the barbecue grills. Everything else is cleared up. And then we've got a mess of seedlings getting outside and getting hardened in the fresh air. And some are being killed. The dryness, these died, sadly. It kills them being out here in the fresh air and the sun. So it's really hard starting from seedlings inside like this. And here we got a few plants growing. Some are dead. our flowers are coming up from last year's plants on their own, and then there's catmint, and there's flowers coming up from last year's plants all on their own. That plant actually survived. That's not from seed. And then here, I'm not sure about the herbs yet, and our lettuce is still tiny, so I'm going to find my organic fertilizer and fertilize this area because it's not yet growing. Here we've got flowers, and then we got chives that came up from last year. Those are doing alright. And then some other herbs are coming up. Melanie has a kale bed. She thought it was lettuce when she started planting. She knew what she had, but she accidentally grabbed the wrong tray. And this is a bed of kale, which is going to be gigantic. So we are going to have to transplant these. That's a upside down pallet, which became a raised, well, it's supposed to be a lettuce bed. And we've got to weed this out. A lot of our herbs are coming back. All of our flowers are made it through the winter, but Melanie put chicken manure and chicken bedding in here, and it fertilized it tremendously, including the grass. Greatly fertilized it, so that's a lot of work to clean that up. And then our strawberries are flowering, but they're stunted yet because of the cold we had later in the year. Now our garden has been taken over entirely by sorrel, and that is not something you can just pull out by hand. It is completely lost. The garden is a total loss, so I have to till it again, including the walkways, which is annoying because the sorrel didn't die through the winter. It grew and really took over, so I have to till the whole garden. I wanted to do a back to Eden style garden and never again till, a no-till garden, but that's just not happening this year because of that sorrel. It's just so dense. There's no way we're doing this. The walkways and everything. I mean, that you can see the garden bed, the darker green where it was fertilized, and that sorrel loves this acidic soil, and the fertilizer just helped it. So next week we'll till. Over here, Melanie's on the phone to her sister, I think. Anyway, Melanie started a lettuce bed. Melanie, what's in here?
Kale, lettuce, mustard.
Kale, lettuce, mustard.
And Swiss chard.
And Swiss chard. Okay. So she hoed this out by hand, and we'll have to just maintain it as we go. We got to get some more chicken wire to stop the rabbits from getting through, and then we're going to get deer netting and do a proper fence this year. I'll probably keep the electric fence up on the outside as an external barrier, and then the deer netting, or I'll probably run the electric fence on the outside of the deer netting on the post to keep the deer away and keep it from jumping over. They say a deer can jump 7 feet. I'm getting thirsty, so my tongue isn't working. It's hot. It's really hot already this morning. And here we have tiny little chickens. And these little birds actually, come on, focus. One of these is actually crowing, and they sit in the palm of my hand. They're very tiny birds. And the one rooster, actually that standing up right here with the white and black, is a rooster. He's only 6 inches tall and he's crowing. It's pretty crazy. Pretty cool. Tiny little birds. And they're doing well out here now. Hey guys, I took out the fuel pump assembly from the truck. It's massive. Look at the size of that. It's massive, this thing. And sure enough, the fuel filter looks like a car air filter type thing, paper canister, or a paper element looking thing, on the bottom of the assembly. Now, after I took it all apart and dismantled it all to get to the fuel filter itself, or fuel pump itself, I found out that, see, a lot of places sell just this, and they're $50, $60 or so, just this. Well, amazingly, for my truck, after I took it all apart, this whole entire unit is only $64 plus shipping. I paid for overnight express shipping because we have a holiday coming up and we have no vehicle. Granted, I could drive the car if I need to, alright? It's not a fast leak. I could drive the car, but I'd rather not. So there you go. Somebody asked me if an emergency, what are you going to do? I could drive the car, but I'd rather not. So there you go. I've got that. This whole unit is coming in the mail tomorrow. I paid for overnight express shipping on Amazon. Unbelievable how cheap it is. I did not expect that at all. Now, if I went to a local store, they wanted $150 to $300 for the same thing. Now, the neat thing is, this never worked. The contact is shot. And so now I'm going to have a fuel sending unit as well. So, and that comes with it. The only thing is, this element, probably unless you get an OEM, which will probably cost as much as the truck is worth, this element does not come with the replacement fuel pump assemblies. So, not even from the local car place, which is one of the better, higher quality car shops, car parts places around. Anyway, so I'm going to have to put an inline filter, which I prefer anyway. I think it's a dumb idea to have a fuel filter inside the tank. By the way, there is no inline filter on the Dodge. The 95 Dodge Dakota has no inline filter. It just doesn't exist. It's internal. So anyway, I got the parts coming. I'm going to put this piece back on the truck to stop the evaporation of all my gas, and I'm going to do that now. Melanie's got the stove going again. She loves this thing. She got oil going in the wok. I mean, I guess this reminds you of the Philippines a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get her a metal table this weekend. I'm going to look, this is the major holiday weekend, and I'm going to look at garage sales. See if we can find her a metal table to put this on, so it's not right on the ground. And we're going to put that then under the overhang of the trailer on the porch. And we're going to set her up an outdoor kitchen area. She loves this stove. She's totally doing this on her own. She loves it, which is great. This is the SilverFire Hunter, everybody, that I did a review on quite a few years ago. And we use it heavily here on the property. I'll put the link down below. But that will allow you to cook. Wow. Look at that, guys. That's using twigs off the ground. Melanie is cooking with twigs. How cool is that? Look at that. We love this thing. It is so awesome. We take it camping. We take it fishing. We take it to the cabin. We love this thing.
This is perfect for French fries.
Yeah. It's so cool. So anyway, guys, put the links down below. It is not cheap, but it's not cheap quality. We've had this for years, and it still looks, except for the dent that was in it. I got it because of the dent. And anyway, we've had it for years, and it still looks like almost like the day it came out of the box. So, pretty impressive. Very rugged.
French fries.
Look at this. Melanie just finished saying twice in a row, this is perfect for French fries. This is perfect for French fries. And it's fast. I mean, you just popped them in. I literally walked away for a minute, and they're cooking that fast. We have to try and see if they're cooked through. Do you think they are?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not thick.
It's so fast. This is an incredible stove, guys. And I'm not marketing or advertising. I've had this for years. I'm just telling you something I love.
Yeah.
Melanie just keeps saying it's so perfect. And no grease in the kitchen.
Yep.
No mess. Let it fall on the ground. Well, I want to take that out anyway. That those smooth round tiles are deadly in winter. When you get a little water or ice or something on them, they are deadly. We got to do something about that this year. Those were so dangerous. Right in front of the house. Got everything closed up at the moment. The thing about the chalet is if you close it down, except for that window, it stays nicer in here. The temperature out is 91 degrees and it's 72 inside. We even got the bathroom closed. Prevent the sun from shining in and close it down, and it maintains the cooler air in here so much better without air conditioning. And that trailer would have been probably 100 degrees right now. It was so hot last year. So I'm very pleased with the chalet. Hi, little Michelle. How do you like the outdoors? Why do you look at your mom? I'm asking you. How do you like the outdoors? Ugh, she suddenly got quiet. I got a window in, and it was like it was made for it. It is incredible. Just imagine, I divided this up into 4 equal sections when I built the framing of this, and then I got 2 matching free windows that happen to be spaced apart. The framing fits my framing like it was made for it. I mean, that's amazing. That is incredible. This was absolutely meant to be. And I like that I can sit here and look inside my greenhouse. I have to clean the window. And I can see better than it looks on camera. Oddly, the reflection shows worse on camera than it really is. But I can sit here and look inside my greenhouse, and I like it. I'm happy. So I'll clean the window when I'm done, and that'll help increase the light flow. And I can enjoy just sitting here, in or out, depending on the weather. On a colder day, we can sit inside and enjoy our greenhouse on a deck that I'm going to put in there. So I've got another window that goes over here. I'm going to run another board along that piece to reinforce that and double that up for strength. And I'm going to put another board under here, closing off the bottom. There's not enough room to put a, what do you call it, a cripple under there. So I'm just going to put a 2x6 across, tack it in well, screw the window into that, and be done. Actually, there's no screw for the window down there, but anyway. The window is secured, and yes, the window is inside out. I thought about it long and hard and decided that I want to do it the way I did it. Means we have to access it from outside, but it means also that it was easier to fit because I had used recycled lumber, and the boards are different thicknesses, and so this frame piece didn't match up with this frame piece, and so I couldn't have got the window in from outside without doing a whole lot of framing, and really it doesn't matter. So there we have it. For fresh air, I can open the windows. For insects, I can open it wide. But pretty cool. I can't wait to get the other one in, but today is coming to a close. And I put a nice major hole in my head. For a while there, I had piercing pain through my eye, because I stood up really neat and jabbed my head into one of these rafters and have a very neat hole in my head, Melanie says. One that doesn't belong there, at least. So I'm done. I'm gonna rest a while and then clean up tools, and that'll be the day. Because I like it. It's looking good. I'd like to replace all the plastic eventually with all glass, as I can find windows. It'd be great.